Good morning to you. Yeah. Oh, I've just put my visor down. The wind's quite nippy, but the weather's glorious. Yeah. It's Friday Mutter time. I'm going to stop as slowly as I can because this road looks very, very greasy. Marvellous. Anyway, yeah. I'm not going to do any viewers' photos today. No, sorry about that. We'll restart with those again in the new year. As you can see, I'm on Buddy, the T100. Yeah, I'm out for a jolly because I'm not back at work. Yeah, I know, marvellous, isn't it? All this time off, don't know what to do with myself. Well, I do. I don't have enough time, to be quite honest. Well, there's some massive tree roots down this road. Yeah, marvellous. Anyway, I thought I'd just say hello. Hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and I wanted to wish you all a happy new year as well. Yeah, because it'll be New Year shortly, won't it? Yeah. I've got so many people I need to thank. Well, firstly, all you lot. Yeah. It's been a marvellous year for me, and very different, as my mate Phil, yeah, old school motorcycles, up there in Yorkshire, God's own country, said I've come a long way this year. I have, yeah. I've stopped pretending to try and talk posh, yeah. I've said too much like hard work. The bikes I've ridden, hell and all bikes on my quest for the perfect bike. Someone said there is the perfect bike, but only for certain jobs. Of course, what I was looking for was the perfect bike that would do everything, and that quest still goes on. But let's look at the bikes I've ridden. Yeah, you know, there's the V-Strom 650, a marvellous bike, and possibly and arguably one of the best bikes ever made. I know, it's crazy, you're all shouting and screaming at me, but seriously, it is. And if you've owned one, you know exactly what I mean. But of course, that's not the bike. It doesn't. How can I say this? It does everything, and it does it really well. But it doesn't fulfil something that's missing, and I can't even describe that. But anyway, let's move on. What else? Should we start at the top or at the bottom? You know, at the bottom was the Yamaha. I didn't enjoy that at all. I know, crazy. The Tracer 9 or whatever it was called. Marvellous engine, handled well. Position I found uncomfortable. Wind blast wasn't very good around that fairing and stuff. Seating. Anyway, let's not go there. I don't want to slate any bike because someone somewhere loves that bike, and we're all individuals, and we all have different. We're all different shapes and sizes, aren't we? We have different ailments, and they all contribute to how we feel about certain bikes. Then of course there was the Street Twin, which you've all seen my little video, sort of not comparing it to the BSA because that'd be ludicrous. Pardon me. Which led me to get rid of Betty, the T120, yeah, and replace it with this magnificent beast, Buddy, the T100 Gold Line. Yeah, and I mean, I've ridden hell and all bikes, haven't I? If you look back, all the Royal Enfields multiple times, yeah, and of course they all feature in my top 20. They do, yeah, all of them. all the Royal Enfields. In fact, they'll probably feature in my top 10. The Speed Twin, the 1200 Speed Twin, marvellous bike. Do you remember the black Thruxton as well? That black Thruxton, second hand from Orwell. Oh, it was sold before I got back. Yeah, oh, what a marvellous beast that was. And that actually makes me remind me, leaving off from the bikes for a moment, of the dealers. All the dealers, they've been absolute megastars. Yeah, Orwell Motorcycles, obviously. Suffolk Triumph, amazing. Moto Technics, yeah. The English Electric Motor Company, you know. It's just endless. And I've got more. Colchester Kawasaki, yeah. A bit of a rough start, admittedly, but we got there in the end. And now they know me, I'm just a loony, yeah. I think I'm very grateful for all of them, because without them I wouldn't have been able to ride all the bikes that I've ridden, and I'd be nowhere further with my quest, would I? But the Rocket, do you remember the Rocket? Oh, that's a bike I would love in my garage. The Rocket 3, yeah, marvellous bike. And the Z900 RS, of course I had one, but that's gone. So move on, tame. That's what I say. I've got a lot more already filmed, waiting for you. Yeah, as you know, at present I'm concentrating on. Shall we go up the hill, or no? I'll tell you what. We'll go straight through. We'll go straight through the village. Yeah, Ixworth this is. Yeah. I forgot where I was now. Yeah, the latest set of videos that you're gonna get. Oh, you might get a different one here and there, but are gonna be not comparing the BSA. I know, it's just an excuse to get out and ride some marvellous bikes again. And of course I will not be comparing it to any of my own bikes as well. Yeah, and you might find the final one in the series very interesting, but there you go, you'll have to wait. Oh, listen to Buddy in these streets. Hey up, what do you reckon? What do you reckon she's doing? Is she going to, or stopping? I'll tell you what, I'm just going to pop round her because I haven't got all day. Yeah. Yeah, so the BSA is brought in some very interesting comments. Very interesting. And a lot referring to Moto Tingle, marvellous video. Don't know if you've seen it. In one sense it's marvellous, in another I just find it bemusing. Yeah, I do. If you haven't seen it, just Google it and have a look. He has some difficulty opening the petrol can. Yeah, I don't know why he has so much difficulty opening the fuel cap. I had no problem whatsoever. No more problem than I do whenever I get on a new bike. And when you ride lots of bikes, when you first get on them, the two things that are always your worst nightmare, you fill a cap, which you've got to try because you don't know how long you're going to be out, or when you're going to fill it, or if there's going to be a problem, or even if the key fits. So you've got to check all that. And the other one, believe it or not, is the side stand, because they're all in slightly different places. Yeah, I know. You might not think anything of it, but the first couple of times you have to use either of those, it's just a nightmare. And you're trying to look cool on camera. Yeah, side stand down. I can't even find it. Yeah, not that it's difficult to find, it's just that it was not in the same place that it was the last bike you rode, or the bike before that. But there you go, that's funny. So yeah, it's quite funny. He has an awful lot of difficulty, and plus he's also trying to do it one-handed. Then of course, what does he do? He goes on about that melting on the exhaust. He reckons his boot melts on the exhaust. Well, I noticed that bit of burn on a few of the videos. I think, was it Exit to Ride had it as well? But do you know what? I don't think it's your boot, because it's about 6 inches behind, maybe even 12 inches behind the foot peg. Well, I mean, I've got big feet, I've got size 11 feet, and only my heel sort of sticks out behind the foot peg. I don't know, sometimes I go on my toes, but when I go on my toes, I'm in naughty boy mode and my heel's up in the air. So yeah, I don't know quite what happened there. Talking of naughty boys there, whoa, pheasant, marvellous. Yeah, I think because it looked very reminiscent of what I did on Bertie, which is your waterproofs. They're so baggy and stick out, you know, flappy about, that when you actually stop and put your feet down, they touch the exhaust and melt. That's what I think it was, but I don't know. If he says it was his boot, it was his boot, but I don't know how the hell it's done it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, marvellous. And that whole frame thing, well, somehow they made the BSA 10 centimetres longer than the Jawa, if they've used the Jawa frame. Well, I'm not saying that they haven't. They may well have done, but if they have, they've made some changes. Now, he also said about it twisting and what have you at high speed, but according to him it also doesn't do high speed. But there you go. Anyway, it could be that they put a longer swinging arm in, which might make it twist a little bit, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, that's just my observations. What really I found quite strange though was this price comparing. He looked at a Jawa and looked how much the Jawa was, and I did note the indicators on the Jawa, very reminiscent of the indicators on the BSA, and they're one of my favourite things. Marvellous, decent size, straight off, out the can, not a massive thing, and I like that. They'll do the indicators, marvellous. The seat, and do you know what? I never tried to lift the seat up, and do you know what? I never tried to lift the seat up on anything else. No, I don't. And maybe I should try doing that. And I've got no idea whether that seat lifts up or not, or whether you have to unbolt it like you do on the Royal Enfield. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. That was that. The price. Yeah, the price, that's where I was. About 1,800 quid or something like that for a Jawa 300. Well, let me tell you, Hunter's about the same price in India. Yeah, the Hunter and the Jawa's about the same price, and of course they would be because they're competitors. Your Interceptor, yeah, that's about £3,000 in India. Yeah, I should imagine the BSA, if you could buy it in India, would also be about £3,000. But I almost got the impression, oh look at the rubbish on this road, I almost got the impression he was suggesting that it can't be worth £7,000 because it only, a Jawa 300 only costs £1,800. Oh, it doesn't make no sense to me. That's not like me saying, well, your Interceptor can't be worth £6,700 because a Hunter's only £1,800 in India. It doesn't make no sense. But anyway, other than that, really good video. Yeah, he seemed to quite like the bike. And on the speed thing, yeah, well, it's restricted to 45 brake horsepower at 6,500 revs. Seems pretty sensible to me to put the restriction, the rev limiter at 7, doesn't it, you? You're not going to get any more power out of it. Stop twisting. Yeah, you'll do some damage, or maybe you won't, and maybe, just maybe, that engine is capable of much more. Yeah, what do you think about that? Yeah, that's a thought, isn't it? So there you go. I'll leave you with that thought. I've got a lot more to mutter about in the new year, and there's so many people I want to thank. I've got to do another video for it. Yeah, so I don't want to keep this mutter going on too long, but yeah, keep the comments coming. Interesting, that's what I'd say. Everyone's got a different view. I hope you like the view from Buddy. Have a very happy new year, and I may be back before the new year, or I might just leave it now until the new year. Yeah, marvellous. Ta-ta.